Hey guys, and welcome to a very, very special episode with Linksy. Today we have a 3v3 tournament battle. It's tournament set rules, and it's very special for me because I was actually invited. I am actually one of the players. We'll get to me in a second. And it's so we have three versus three in this settlement, which is a lovely, lovely, lovely like multi-stage settlement. So let's see. So you can have a battle in this line over here. Then you have these two roads leading to this square. This could be also a nice battlefield. There are two roads over here, multiple ways where you can breach the walls, reach also to that square. And on this side, you have this wall, which is easily attacked, quite open, leads to this aqueduct over there. You have roads. This wall can be really attacked, and then you have these two main roads. Nice little skull there, another square, two squares there, and then of course the I think this is the capture point out here. Yeah, this is the capture point, but you can also put troops up here, and yeah, it's just lovely. So in the defense, we have myself playing as Athens, bringing up a decent Athenian army over here. Just mercenary hoplites. I got one picked hoplites with my general, two Cretan archers, two Rhodian slingers. I've got some frontline militia hoplites back here. I'm back here, yeah. And then I got some Taurus spears, thorax swordsman. You know, the shebang. And of course, my general is the strategist because that gives you a little bit extra oomph. Now, over here, I'll show you something which I copied from Legend of Total War in his way of using Skaven in Warhammer 2, but it works really well with slingers and immensely well. And on this side, we have the Lusitani. Athens is playing as the Lusitani, and he's bringing Iberian swordsmen over there. Some nobles, that's his general unit. Some more swordsmen. Has a lot of Balearic slingers. I mean, playing as the Spanish, of course, you need to get Balearic slingers. And then he has some interesting troops. He's some veteran shield warriors being kept in reserve over there. Over here has Iberian cavalry, and I believe he had a couple of units of where are they? Gorilla, gorilla technique now. He had gorilla deployment on some units out here. Yeah, Lusitani gorillas. These guys, these bad boys. These are really nice. You can deploy them outside. They have really good attack and everything. And then finally, Craig Shields. My man Craig has brought himself some Pontus swordsman pikemen. He has Royal Cavalry over there. Quite a balanced roster over here. He has yeah, just a general army composition. He has Eastern archers over there and over here as well. We're fighting against Tylis, which has, of course, Galatrician infantry, has tribal warriors, which are insanely tough. These are Celtic warriors, where are they? Tribal warriors, there you guys go. Insanely tough units. I mean, they're very cheap, but they have really good armor and really good melee defense, so they can really take a beating in the assault. And then we have Averni, of course, bringing their naked warriors, Celtic swordsmen, and some levy freemen on the sides, more Oathsworn on this angle, and the tribal warriors over here. Mercenary Balearic Slingers, because we're also facing Carthage, who has his army over here. It's mostly African pikemen and Libyan infantry on the side over there. And, just Samite warriors over here, mercenary Iberian swords, and I think he has two African pikes. We were meant only to bring one. Now the rules for this match were simple. There were one artillery, one pikeman, four missiles. You were allowed to ban up to three factions on each side. I think three factions or two factions. No, two factions on each side. I think I'm not sure. And of course, playing one of Apollo's roster of maps for the battle. Now, you tell me, how can they deploy siege equipment so close to the wall? If you have guerrilla deployment, you can deploy the siege equipment really, really close to the wall, and that speeds up the process of assaulting the walls quite significantly. So it's actually a good idea to have these guys so close to the wall. Now, why is he deploying his Gallic hunters so close to this? And I'll tell you in a second why, because I'm about to start. Press, and so I can hit them with my ballista. So let's start the battle in earnest. This is why, because then you get to hit the ballista normally and set it afire alight, but he's not managing, and it allows me some time. I'm panically panically trying to burn down the settlement. Give me a second because it seems I have left Discord open. There you go. Closed it. Apologies for that. Um, and this is burning down the Gallic hunters really quickly. And on this end, I was trying to hit him with these mercenaries, Cretan archers, but I didn't manage. Let's see on this end. So of course they're going full blast. They're going for the gate. They're running towards these siege towers to try and get onto the walls as fast as possible. Now on the walls they can get down from two locations, from here and from here. So this is in generally a bad angle to attack in the wall as is at the moment. Very, I mean, unless you of course do this and you break down the walls themselves, but sending tribal warriors up on the wall is not that very smart. Nonetheless, they are sending up their tribal warriors on the wall over there, and it's going well. On this side, Carthage is getting blasted with my artillery over here. Didn't get that many kills, but all those kills were pretty much these Gallic hunters over here, which got wrecked by these Pontic light cavalry, the Celtic light cavalry from Pontus, and these Gallic warriors over here are Gallic or Celtic? Gallic, yeah, are getting a little bit of love from my artillery. Going back to this side, Pontus is trying to hold on to the wall for now, but Tylis is already breaking through and is making quite a lot of progress in that regard. I'm not entirely sure why they're bringing the siege towers close to the wall. Perhaps they're trying to use the ballista to take down some units as fast as possible, but in the grand scheme of things, they don't seem to be. Yep, they're getting on top of the wall, but they're going to get slaughtered by the the Lusitani slingers over here, who will have a very good angle to shoot at. That that was gonna hurt. Gatehouse is getting shot at by the artillery. I'm not sure why they bought giant ballistas, probably to save some money, but it is going well for them. Now, the entire point of this battle was to hold them at the walls as long as possible, do as much damage as possible, as I'm trying to do over here with my Cretan archers already securing 27 kills, barely 2 volleys over there. And I learned something in this game is be conservative with your ammunition. You will find opportunities to shoot and you will do a lot of damage really quickly. Now, for some reason, this cavalry, yep, it happened right here. You can see it's just going around that way. It sometimes happens. And yeah, my ally wasn't entirely aware why it happened because we all saw both, so all of us saw him clicking away. But then they decided to change their route. I charged in my militia hoplites, and I realized this is a perfect angle for my arrow towers to fire and to offer me support. Now these guys are trash units compared to these Gallic warriors, but the missile damage will definitely be useful. I started moving my archers over back on the wall over there to assist me as much as possible. They're still trying to break the walls over here. They're neutralizing the arrow towers, and they're charging at the Lusitani swordsmen on top of the walls, but they are getting target fired by these Balearic slingers, which provide those pilas were wasted, my friend. This guy got like 12 pilas in his shield, but those pilas were a little bit wasted. These Celtic warriors are moving back and securing positions, various positions around. He ended up killing a good number of his own men over here. That is not smart. That is really not smart. I'm not entirely sure what he did there. Anyway, the Eastern archers are getting a really good shot over there. Now, the damage that's being done on the enemy is enormous, but at the same time, we don't have that much left. Like, most of our armies are already engaged. In my case, most of my army is engaged in the front. So now you see over this here. This is what Legend does with his Rattling guns, right? He puts them in a line like this and he starts shooting. Now what I realized is, because usually if you pull them forward, they'll do a lot of damage, but of course they're susceptible to being charged. So I just put a column Stork swordsman right next to them. So if I get charged, as I'm pulling back the Rhodinian slingers, these guys can side charge these guys over there. And meanwhile, my militia hoplites, they were still gonna get wrecked, right? They got killed by so much pila throws. I was like, you know what? No problem. You guys stay in your phalanx formation and enjoy the little bit of damage that you're getting. The slingers are firing at the flank of the Gallic warriors over there, as my Cretan archers will fire at some point. Will you guys fire? Will you be firing into the flanks? Yep, they're throwing their pillars. I was aiming. Yeah, these guys are pretty much broken. They're routing, and these guys are not having a good time. On the other flank, things are getting a little bit hectic. The Naked Warriors have engaged with the Celtic Warriors. Naked Warriors are actually losing decisively, which is impressive. Tribal Warriors on the wall are falling, and the Tylis is going in from every angle. They've neutralized the gatehouse. They're charging in. Balearic Slingers are thinning out the Tribal Warriors, and the Naked Warriors over here, with the support of Celtic Warriors, are ripping through the mercenary Celtic warriors of Pontus, who are trying to hold at a really bad angle over there. The noble warriors over here are engaged with just a few units that got off the wall, but overall these tribal warriors are not having a good old time. Now these Thracian warriors should actually get onto the wall and start assisting as best as they can, because their friends are not having a good time and they need to get off the walls as soon as possible. These Balearic Slingers are already at 70 kills. My slingers are having a field day over here. These guys got wrecked to bits. I managed to capture the gate again. These Libyan infantry. Actually, no, I just had lost my gate here. These Libyan infantry got off the gate on the gate wall and just did a lot of damage to me. So now I'm just surrounding them, and I'm trying to do as much damage as I can with my Taurus spears from the side. And this is a good tactic. It's like flank them as best as you can from every angle. Like, these guys do not have a safe place. They do not have a place to put their backs to the wall, even though ironically their backs are to the gate. But yeah, you get what I mean. These Celtic warriors over here, I mean, were annihilated, and these guys have 132 kills. They have most of their ammo left, and we have 110 kills on these Cretan archers, which is more than enough to make a man like me happy. And this chaos and the gates, the Pontic swords are charged into the gates to try and block a couple of Thracian warriors from coming in. Now these guys have a lot of melee attack and weapon damage, which is dealing a crap ton of damage. Taurus spears are doing a lot of damage over here, holding the line as well, while the Iberian swordsmen are throwing their pila. You need to make use of every single last pila in the best possible manner. And yeah, well, naked swords are not the best. Naked warriors, I mean, are not the best to be taking arrow fire to the face. So I would have moved them out aside, possibly put one of my heavily armed troops, which have missile resistance. I mean, they don't have a large shield, but yeah, when you're naked, an arrow can really hurt you really bad, really quick. As I'm saying that, these guys are not breaking, and Carthage is invading me full force, charging at me. I decide to pull back my militia operatives a little bit, just to provide them a little bit of more support with my thorax swords and my mercenary Cretan archers from the side. Now, I made a big mistake over here. I should have noticed that he brought his Cretan archers in on the side. I was way too focused on the gatehouse trying to break that, because I'm about to lose the majority of this unit of Cretan archers, which could, one, be doing a lot of damage to his own Cretan archers before I realize, and two, well, my militia hoplites are going to get wrecked by these Iberian swordsmen over there. And it's interesting how much mercenary infantry is on the battlefield between Pontus, Carthage, Tylis, and well, Iberia is not really getting a lot of troops. Which, oh my god, are those bold? No, it's just the helmets. The way the helmets are made. These men are running around. I believe at some point soon, Athens calls a general retreat of our army, because we were. I mean, as you can see, they're pushing in, but this is something I learned, and I'd like to share with you guys is, when you're getting pushed this hard, do not double down. It's like, pull back gently, and you will get more kills by doing so. Like the amount of kills Essence is getting over here, 192 on these Balearic Slingers over there, and these guys haven't barely even engaged, and they're already decent amount of kills, all of them. His general is engaging these guys on walls, but he lost. Tylis lost so much trying to take this. This is all Tylis has left. Well, okay, he has a few units here and there, but Tylis has lost so much army just attacking. Oh, he still has Thracian warriors to the rear. Yeah, but you know what I mean. You guys get me. It's not really that a good idea that our balance of power is still even at this stage, and we have the defensive stance. So at this point, I decide to try something new. I go furthermore with my column formation, and I push into this Libyan infantry. So from each side, I'm firing my Taurus spears into the battlefield. Now, out here, there are a couple of units of Gallic hunters which are getting charged by the Celtic Light Horse, and they're being forced to come inside the settlement. I've broken one unit of his archers, but my archer unit over here got massacred on the walls, as you can see. But I've managed to do significant amount of damage to his Cretan archers with my Rhodian slingers, who are now at 243 kills. My hoplite, militia hoplites are breaking, but at the same time, I've got Iberian swordsmen surrounded entirely, and there is a unit of Semite warriors coming in somewhere. He has Semite warriors somewhere in the mix over here. Yeah, there they are. Semite warriors are insanely strong. I'm throwing my pilas at not the Libyan infantry, but rather at the Gallic hunters, since they are within range. And even they are in loose formation, killing the Gallic hunters this early on would certainly provide very beneficial towards the end game. I believe this is when the general retreat was sounded, and not a moment too soon, because over here they were breaking into the formations and they were killing a lot of our men. That said, Essence's swords on here on the walls are doing significant damage over there, and these troops are still in very good shape. But as you can see, he's slowly pulling back his troops that he had in reserve over here, and he has a lot of veteran shields, which are very good armor-piercing troops. He still has cavalry, he still has his Lusitanian guerrillas, which are in decent enough shape, even though they had a big skirmish out here, which I believe we missed. Yeah, they had a skirmish with the citizen cav of the Taurus spears have engaged, Taurus swordsmen are engaged over here. These guys are at 20 kills and they will keep getting a few more kills. This Libyan infantry is not having the best time, and this other Libyan infantry is trying to copy my strategy and break through, but I managed to hold it in place just in time. At the same time, when they were planning to retreat, I was preparing to, yeah, he attacked my slingers with cavalry, but we managed to break them off. He has more troops ready to charge in. My missile archers were trying to snipe out his general unit, which I managed to do a little bit of them. No, not yet. I haven't done that much damage yet, but it was enough to definitely scare him off. As we say that, oh, this is not going well. These tribal warriors are not having a fun day today. Tribal warriors need to go to school. Now over here, the unit of Pontus swords has broken, and another unit is there to take its place. At the same time, on this angle, the Averni are pushing in and they're assisting Tylis now, which is, I mean, pretty spent. I mean, they do have a lot of kills on their units, which is granted, but these Lusitanian swordmen definitely do know how to do a lot of damage. What I'm surprised is that they did not have a decent use of their ballistas, which could have done so much more, but instead they... I mean, their ballistas could have certainly skirmished a little bit more than they did in the initial stages of this game. The Libyan infantry over here is getting slaughtered, and the general's bodyguard on this angle is still in good shape. Oh, this is why you guys got so many kills. You got an entire unit breaking straight through you. No wonder. He decided to give me the rear of these Iberian swords, and I accepted it as tribute. These guys are 287 kills, definitely a very good, decent number of kills. And Iberian swords is getting wrecked. He decides to open fire on my man, and my men start dropping like flies because I do not have that much ammunition left to counter these Cretan archers. But my slingers over here can definitely do that for me, and slingers are the best unit to counter archers at every angle. Now, at this point, I just look back and I see this mass retreat over here. I mean, there's a unit over here that's running away, it's breaking. There's a unit on top of the walls that's fighting, and there's one unit left here of Pontus swords, but everything else has been pulled back, right? And I see this, and I notice that, oh shit, I'm gonna get cut off. So I pull back my troops and I start pulling back. Over here, I'm still engaging because I still believe I can do a lot more damage. In fact, I am trimming these Cretan archers down significantly. I wished I could have attacked these African pikemen, but My range was just right about here, so I didn't manage to do that much damage. But yeah, and this unit of Samite warriors I really wanted to kill uh, very, very badly, because these are Samite warriors. These Gallic hunters over here are not having the best day of their life. But yeah, I mean, they broke. These veteran hoplites are a very good unit, and they will do immense amounts of damages to the enemy. So I'm just charging forward, trying to break this unit, especially since I pretty much got a rear attack on it as it was reforming, giving me the flank of these Samite warriors, and I charge straight into it while I have the opportunity to do so. These guys are 200 kills. I still have some mercenary Cretan archers there, and I'm pulling back slowly. I was gonna pull back through this side, but I realized that they had already taken that angle, so I just pulled back through this angle and reform my men as needed. On this angle, we were going to charge in and try to take the general. However, as you can see, that was not the smartest of ideas. These Taurus spears held well, but they could only do so much. Now that said, his general unit is still active, and it's not something I wished 340. Um, I'm doing that for a reason, by the way, because we were a competition whose slingers could get the most kills, and slingers are just fantastic. I didn't manage to break the 390 of Athens though, which not in this game, but apparently he did it in another game, and I mean the guy plays so well. Look at him. I mean, he still has the majority of his army intact. That said, I only lost 1 or 2 units out here, which I sacrificed, and that is absolutely fair. Because, well, we needed to sacrifice some units. The Libyan infantry finally break through the Taurus spears, and that is pretty much game for me on this angle. We are definitely holding the line. I'm trying to do as much damage as I can on his troops wherever I can. I pulled back my missile units over here because I see his general and I want to just damage him as best as possible. I'm pulling back these troops gently and slowly up the hills up here. I was still insisting we try and hold this choke point, but you'll see that is not a smart idea, because this little hill over here does a lot of damage to anyone coming up this hill, and we'll see that later on in the game as it is the case. Anyway, over here I managed to get a really good shot into his general. His general is down to half health. Maybe I will get another one, I am not sure, but with that, yeah, one last shot. I mean, it does get a few kills from friendly fire, but that's about it. And now at this point, I should start pulling back. I try to let a few pot shots into his archer units and try and trimming them down slightly. But I am outmatched because they have a lot more men and a lot more, 2 units of them fighting. These veteran hoplites are holding this Semite warrior unit while I'm trying to trim this down. And this one is down to 104 men. No, Semite warriors are incredibly strong, so killing them early on is definitely a good thing. These slingers are finally out of ammunition at almost 350. I'm pulling back everything I have. I have 1 unit of veteran hoplites here, just covering the retreat, just in case these guys decide to charge forward. But mostly our armies are full retreat now. I wasn't entirely sure what I should do here, but I ended up just pulling back my Taurus spears and leaving my veteran hoplites fighting their battle on their own. He tries to throw a little bit of feelers at my man. He gets a few kills, but in reality, what he wants is this really expensive unit of mercenary hoplites, which he's going to kill. But he doesn't realize it's for a good cause. Yeah, my other mercenary hoplites over here. Look at them, perfectly moving around that. I can imagine someone's like, no, I am programming this right. I am making sure the pathfinding around this column is going to be perfect. Because well, we all know the pathfinding is what it is. So that basically was the first and second stage of the battle, like the battle for the walls, and now the second stage is the retreating, which is happening, and now the third and final stage will be the battle for the capture point, which is just about there. And the victory point is this one, I believe. If it highlights, I don't know why it's not highlighting. I believe this was the victory point, but it's also so cool that, I mean, really and truly, if a cavalry unit just comes up the hill and runs down into the city, we would all understand why that would have happened. But because there's no walls up here at all. Anyhow, Talking about cavalry, the Varian cavalry is positioning itself in the rear of the settlement over here, whereas these Lusitanian guerrillas are setting themselves up. My army is pretty much exhausted at this point. They're not. They're actually in decent. No, yeah, some of these swords are exhausted, but I'm very happy with the way the battle went. These hoplites are still holding. They've gotten 10 more kills, and they're fighting very, very heavily armored Semite warriors, but they themselves have 104 armor. They're in hoplite fashion and have 74 melee defense. Now, what happened on the left angle flank is that we have the Taurus spears, Pontic swords, and more Pontic swords over here. Believe he still had his pikemen? Yes, he did. And then, holy crap! I did not see that. That was very good shot. Those were some very good shots. I believe he assumed that the missile units were up here, so he was firing at them. But that was immensely good shot. Yep, there he is again. That is mad. Not that he's getting many kills. I mean, he didn't get anything of that. But with these guys up here, the range covers still this side, so anything that comes up here will be flanked immediately, and that's not going to be very happy position for them. And meanwhile, on this side, so I start adopting this formation, right? So you have one unit up here, which will take the brunt of the attack, and then another unit here, which will flank and throw its pila. Now, I should have done it the other way around in my case, because I misclicked. This one didn't have any pila, this one had the pila. I mean, this is the fresh unit, this is the tired unit, and yeah, well, stuff happens. As I said that, I accidentally forgot one of my archer units down here, so I pull it back. Those archer units which got slaughtered on the walls earlier on. Now I have still a full unit of slingers, which has pretty much full ammunition. They only used very little, and they were gonna be having a field day over here, being able to shoot anything coming up the hill on both angles. Talking about anything, these Galatian infantry, exhausted as they are, look at them panting. They're like, holy crap. Guys, you need not to skip cardio so much. Either that or stop eating so much carbs. Did you guys hear that? They were saying like picking on each other for being tired. Um, these guys are tired as well, but these Thracian warriors, I don't know why they're being sent. Again, we were asking ourselves, why are they being sent on their own? Which is not something you should be doing. But yeah, these guys are fantastic shock units, and they have a really strong charge bonus. They are not that good in prolonged combat, and a missile unit will rip them to shreds. In fact, I tried to shoot at them from the sides, but did not manage. These Galatian infantry up here are deciding that it's a good idea to come up and expose their backs. They're getting picked off by these. Sorry. Oh my god. Lusitani gorillas, and another one is up here on the walls, moving up to try and get as many kills as possible. So yeah, we are in a fortified position. We have 2 capture points for morale, so we're not going to be broken easily. We have Pyrrhic Slingers on the hill, we have missiles on the hill, and this is what I was talking about. Look at this. These guys are getting surrounded. These Levy freemen are getting ripped and broken pretty much instantly. I mean, barely any of them died, and they're being shot to... Well, the word is shot to shits, really and truly. I mean, so much missile, like this arc, just insane, and they have not much hope of breaking through. Now, they still have lots of Celtic warriors, and I believe they have a couple of units of Oathsworn and Chosen Swords, which would be terrifying in any normal circumstances, but we were quite positive we had this under control. Especially since, I mean, this was our weakest point, right? But even if we lost here, we would have set up a defensive position on this angle, like flanking them aside from the side. So now he's trying to charge me from this, and I charged him from the flank over there, and we're just doing a lot of damage to these Thracian warriors off the bat. They were a full unit pretty much, and correct shields, my man, you were doing some friendly fire over there. But look at that, that unit has been shattered in its initial charge, and that is not how you use Thracian warriors. You try and use them with a rear charge or two. Now, these Lusitani gorillas are here to help plug the hole that the Thorax swordsmen have formed. I'm trying to go back in position, but these Lusitani gorillas will support my men as needed. I'm still keeping back my strongest warriors, my picked hoplites and my veteran hoplites over here to hold the rank as much as possible. These Lusitani are getting a decent shot on this angle, but it's all good in the end. My Toro Spears over here, yeah, we missed this, but basically these guys are trying to get onto the wall and capture this tower. And basically, our slingers, not just my slingers, our slingers over here did a fantastic job with just trimming them. I'm not sure too. They have only 40 men left. They were 100 men as they were marching up that hill. Over here, more units of Thracians are breaking. There's a secondary unit that's breaking up here. They're sending one unit at a time. They're sending another unit of Thracian warriors up. Carthage, meanwhile, has finally recovered from the shock of this battle and how much they lost. And I mean, Carthage does not have much left. It has 81 Semite warriors over here, has 141 Semite warriors, then has 2 units of African pikemen, which they were very cheeky about. They apologized now because they knew the impending doom they had coming towards them. That's pretty much it. They still have a little bit over here. Yeah, Libyan infantry, very damaged, and another unit of African pikemen. Now, on this end, the Celtic warriors are readying, and they're trying to set up a formation up here. These tribal warriors are very heavily armored, but they're not even managing. Like, the flanking shots, look at that. just, just look at these guys. Like, so much missile fire. These were fresh units, right? Look how much. There's not half of them by the time they get to engage these Taurus spears. And yeah, I mean, it's a massacre on that hill. And they decide that their best option is to come here and try and fight us up here and whittle us down. I mean, this was their safest bet, and even that was not going well for them. They still have some ammunition themselves, but I mean, these guys are spent, no? Now, they still have a little bit of ammo, so it's all good. These Semite warriors are fresh, they're being marched up so as not to lose their ammunition, not to lose their preparedness for the battle. And they've pretty much started to give up on this flank up here. They've launched one more unit of chosen swords, but I believe they will slowly start saying nope. Not again. No, if you're doing this kind of assault, do not send one unit. I mean, yes, fine, send a unit of level 3 men. Just check which angles you're gonna get shot by. Check which areas you're gonna get ammunition thrown at you from. Check how they're gonna flank you. Check where the positions of the troops are. Check who's doing what and where and what kind of strategy you need. But then, after the first time, the second time, just prepare an assault where it's non-stop troops being sent in. So you send 2 units in, you have 2 units ready, right? And then the moment your first 2 units break, charge in. The moment you see a little gap, charge in. That's how it needs to be done. Now these Lusitanian gorillas were wasting their ammunition. Essence, bad Essence. No, I'm joking. Essence is just fantastic. Bit of a fanboy, honestly. The Raynor of Zerg. There's Raynor of Zerg in StarCraft 2. Essence is of Rome 2. Yeah. Anyway, as we were saying, they've given up on this position, and there's a lull in this battle now. They're trying to figure out what the hell to do, and we're just waiting for them to come at us. We're checking our positions, hoping our men get rested. I mean, these guys are finally fresh, but they are a little bit more than half. Actually, a little bit less than half mats, still mats. And these guys are still in decent position. These guys are very tired, but they have done 212 kills. Very good. Let's see how my allies are doing with regards to kills. Pontus swords, 134 kills on the Taurus spears. These guys are, 87 kills on those barbarians, 118 on these slingers, 77. These Eastern archers up here have gotten a lot of damage. These guys are still fresh and they haven't engaged in much fighting. There's still naked swords in the rear and there's still pikemen ready to fight. Pontic swords over there. These Pontic swordsmen getting a few decent kills and they're supporting that spot over there. My general is waiting to be charged in. I have a fraction of ammunition left on my Cretan archers over here, but I was waiting to see what was going to happen in the last charge of this battle, which should be happening any moment now. They're still trying to find a weak spot to attack in this part over here. These tribal warriors are marching. They haven't learned their lesson. They're like, nope, we want to try again. Our brethren are dead. We want to save them. And any second now. They threw their pilas. Oh, they're actually maintaining their... holding their ammo. Which I don't blame them, because this is a useless unit, honestly. There's a little bit of skirmishing happening over here. My missile units were getting the remainder of these Cretan archers, but then I moved my very heavily armed hoplite unit to act as a cover, and they're doing a lot of protection. Meanwhile, the Eastern archers move in, and well, we've seen what Eastern archers do. These Cretan archers are basically joining. Oh my god, that hurt. That definitely hurt. That guy lost his ammunition. No. Let's see. No, they're running away. They're running away, and these Semite warriors are also running away. Everyone is running away because there was too much ammunition left for them to charge into. Well, yeah, in fact, these Skaldic hunters over here tried to sneak up and do some damage. They did not manage. They are not having the best day of their life. As we are saying that, I mean, the balance of power is in our favor. We hold the high ground. We still have a lot of ammunition. It didn't look very good for them. It doesn't look very good for them in this scenario. But how would you be able to break through this battlefield? Like, how would you break into the settlement from this angle? Really and truly, I think the best option they had was to attack all three locations at the same time before they sacrificed so many units. Like, attack us and stretch as thin as possible. Possibly having left a unit of... what I would suggest, actually, and this works really, really well in the late game, leave one of these tortoises up here. Where are we? Up here, because you can break this wall. You can charge in from here, and breaking that wall would put a lot more pressure. I mean, yes, it is very easily defendable because you defend here and here, but it puts pressure because it stretches the already very stretched troops of the defenders to a further degree. Something else would be capturing this tower, right? Capturing this tower will give you a little bit of leeway on what to do, and even being able to push troops this way. So you'll be able to attack in multiple angles, stretch the defenses thin to the point they cannot fight anymore. And the attackers, unfortunately, did not carry out this course. They finally decided to move their troops up. I put my slingers in a safe place where they could fire without much interference, and these Celtic warriors are going up the into their doom. These pilas are being thrown in copious amounts. I mean, these guys are not living the life. They're throwing, replying in kind, but it's not gonna do much. I believe I start getting my slingers ready to fire, and so did my ally, and we started ripping them to shreds over there. It's honestly, the amount of damage they were getting was insane. Now these guys were still a very fresh unit, and they were getting ripped to shreds with these pilas, but taking these pilas away from them is very important, especially since they had so much troops left, and we needed to be able to withhold our elite units as best as possible. Celtic warriors are going good. He's trying to attack my general, so I'm pulling back my general and trying to lure him in to the fight as much as possible. He escapes and pulls back his troops. That said, this unit of Celtic warriors over here is not having the best day of its life, and now all of a sudden it just gets flanked, and it can get attacked really easily from its flanks by the slingers, doing immense amount of damage. So it's like 2 units of slingers. Like, this unit just get... Look at that. Look how fast they're dying. That unit was like, they were 3-4 lines thick, right? They have nothing left. They're just melted. They're gone. Yep, that's it. They're done. And now my slingers are focus firing on this unit, which has decided to attack they're trying to keep us busy. Now, if they had a third unit, they could have easily snuck it from one of these angles. Like third and fourth units, right? Sneak one in here, engage this, sneak another one in here and engage this, and slowly start flanking us and breaking us apart, pushing us, pressuring us, etc. Like they were doing over here. They were just sending so much in, it was very difficult to hold. I sent with my picked hoplites to plug this breach as my thorax swords over there died. My thorax swordsmen down here are trying their damn hardest to hold the rank and file. I have my veteran hoplites up here ready. These Eastern archers, I believe they still had ammunition. Yeah, they still had ammunition, and they're having a bit of a difficult time over there. But we repelled the attack on the left flank up here very easily. We did get a little bit of damage. My Taurus spears were not the best unit to hold. In fact, I was keeping an eye with these veteran hoplites over here. That said, there's still light horseback here in reserve. And on this side, they seem to have completely given up hope. So we're slowly starting to shift our forces towards this side and trying to hold the rank and file. My Thorax sword over here are having... my general is having a little bit of a difficult time trying to fight in. They're casting their abilities, their generals, left, right, and center. I pull my slingers into here. They're already at 185 kills, and I'm going to start pressuring any unit that decides to start moving up the hill from that angle. As we are saying that, my men for some reason decide to attack. They did get the rear of these Semite warriors, which is fantastic, but the problem is they left this open, which was not exploited by the enemy for some weird reason. If we had a missile unit over here, though, we could have definitely done a lot of damage to this Oathsworn unit on this angle. Now, as these archers are firing into our men, they are getting... The remainder of their ammunition is costing them a lot, because these guys they were like 80, yeah, around 80, and this unit over here of slingers just getting really good kills. Now the unit of Galatian infantry over here is breaking. I somehow managed to pull back one of my Thorax swordsmen, and they're holding this Thracian warrior unit in place just in time as these veteran shield warriors come in and block off this angle. My Rhogian slingers charge in to try and hold the flank as much as possible. The Semite warriors charge in into these shield warriors, but these shield warriors are perfect units to take out the it doesn't tell you over here, but they have a really good armor piercing, and they are just a fantastic unit to fight armored units. As this is happening, we push down the hill over here, and we try and engage and scare off these Thracian warriors on this flank, and put pressure on their assault in the center of our army, in the center lane. At the same time that they're doing this, we also managing to get a lot of kills with our slingers and our missile units over here. Slingers are having a field day. These Barbaric slingers are moving up the hill, and at the same time they are not having that much fun. They still have not killed one single person. It seems they've not used any of their ammunition, and they are just not doing that well. My Thorax swordsmen over here are finally collapsing. 200 kills. I think they've done their job. This Semite warrior did not last long. These veteran shield warriors did a fantastic job at them, and slowly we are collapsing them. The balance of power is shifting faster and faster to our side. My Thorax swordsmen over here are prepared to shoot at any moment in time now. I actually leveled up to Bronze 1. These Galatian infantry charge into my veteran shield hoplites, which are just a fantastic unit, which I never really looked at before, but it does really well. These Thracian warriors are not doing very well against the Thorax swordsmen, and overall, they're breaking, they're running away, they're shattering, and it's generally a very good time for us. My slingers are trying to find good angles to shoot, and I believe this is when they run pretty much out of ammunition, and they push in their African pikemen onto the battlefield on this angle, which is not good for us. So we have to pull back what's left of our troops. My Taurus spears over here are not having a good time, and my pikemen, I picked hoplites, sorry, I did not bring pikemen. I actually did not bring pikemen in this battle. I was allowed pikemen, but I foregone. What's the word? I decided not to by accident. I left out the pikemen because, frankly, I thought getting an extra unit of Thorax swordsmen was much better. And the way the funds were split, I end up using all of the funds because this was done on large funds. Of course, you have limited funds and you have to be very, very careful what to bring. Now, Athens has a lot of very good late game infantry and late game units, but it doesn't have that very good start early game units which are cheap. So I decided to, focus on a mid-tier army, and see what that went. And I'm quite impressed. Over here, I managed to break through this Semite warrior, and I did very, very well. I believe they charged their general in at some point as well, which is. I mean, we were questioning why that general's still there. They thought we were pushing through over here, but as you can see, the gap here is significant. And column formation allows you to move past the enemy really easily. Plus, these were just 28 men left. So as I did that, I reformed my ranks, and I, just prepared to charge in. I'm reforming my ranks, preparing to support my Thorax swordsmen as best as possible, pull them back, and possibly do some more damage on this angle over here. As you can see, he's charging his general, and for some reason in this angle, but it did not go well for him. The naked swords are finally in the game. They're finally in the battlefield. They're supporting this blob over here, trying to kill the Oathsworn general. And we were trying to find a solution to these pike units. I'm trying to position my general in a way that can fight these pike units. And then sometime around this point, they realize that they have two pike units somehow, and they turn off one of the units. I am not sure what happened over here, but this pike unit is completely out of position and is not having a good day. Yep, they undid the pike formation, which had already killed a lot of my general unit and done a lot of damage to us. It was one of the main reasons we collapsed over in this angle. We were struggling to contain the position, but we somehow managed to do so. My veteran hoplites were giving me trouble because they were not forming up properly, but at the same time we were holding the center location still by some miracle, while the Lusitani general was moving his troops in a way that they were hidden away from the Oathsworn units over here. Capturing the gate is really important as it starts skirmishing down these chosen swordsmen, and it also shows them that they're getting surrounded, putting a little bit of extra pressure into their heads about what is really happening. My units over there, I don't know what they're dancing. They're doing a dance of sorts of some kind. And more missiles is coming in and killing. The Oathsworn unit here is breaking, and overall I think we are in a very decent position. My general over here got trimmed down a little bit too much for my liking, but thankfully he was still fighting in a really good strength. This chosen swords, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. He's pushing through his general over here. Look, he's charging out, and he will charge back. He's trying to column formation and trying to charge through this way, for some reason. But they were spear units here. I mean, he could see these units. Look at that. Like, why would you do that? Well, what is there to gain? And there's so much cavalry ready to, assault this from the rear. It didn't make any sense. He did a lot of damage because this is heavy shock cavalry. Heavy command, which is shock cavalry pretty much. I mean, its charge bonus is 20, its health is very high, has a very high armor. But I am not entirely sure what they were thinking, and disrupting my hoplite formation was fair enough for them. They're engaging their last troops in there as our units are breaking. The pike units over here are not having a good day whatsoever. They were finally broken with so much missiles being thrown at them, since they didn't have any support. This unit over here is also breaking as well as I engaged with it. He's trying to send it in, but they've shattered, and we started to get a rout on the enemy over here. I've held the line on this angle. I mean, my Thorax swordsmen, I am very proud of them. They did very well. These hoplites also held the line, helped the Thorax swordsmen fight. As this is happening, the Gallic hunters are opening fire on my men and getting a few more kills to help them out. Overall, this seems to be going quite well for everyone involved. These missile units are fantastic in here. Thorax swordsman, but they don't see this happening, right? They cannot see that these beautiful cavalry over here are ready to charge in. They are where they go. These men are routing. All of these men are running away. These last few brave men are charging in. This is the Oathsworn general, I believe. These are the Libyan infantry and Gallic hunters as we're going up the hill. They're charging up their lost troops, Thracian warriors, the Celtic soldiers, and I believe that's what's all that's left. And some chosen swords are trying to break through this flank over here. The remainder of the levy freemen that came back, all the troops that came back, just walking up, seeing bodies, piles and piles of bodies, weapons on the ground, just fighting. Man, missiles start coming up for one last time, and the last charge of the enemy army comes up the hill. As we say that, the cavalry should start charging any moment now. Yeah, the cavalry is charging. The cavalry is prepared to charge. It's gonna get a few decent kills as it just runs through all these survivors of the battle. But they're ignoring that and they're going up the hill. And this is why, folks, you do not leave your archers unoccupied at any point in the game or uncovered. They've broken through my ranks over here, right? I mean, I had just veteran hoplites left. I held for a really long time against a lot of damage on that angle, but and then missile fire onto the remainder of the troops. Their mass rout started, and it's just they're just breaking. I was getting a little bit scared over here because, like, guys, I need some help. I need some help quickly. This cavalry. Oh, what does this cavalry do? I think this cavalry is just yeah. This cavalry is just killing the survivors for the KDA ratio. The remainder is the Oathsworn unit over here. They're just killing for KDA ratio at this point, which is absolutely fine and fantastic. They deserve it. Massacre. These guys barely even got to fight. These chosen swordsmen are shaking and broken. The Oathsworn unit, of course, are a much harder unit to break, but Oathsworn can get up to 355 base morale due to their headhunt ability and the general abilities. He has battle rhythm. But I don't believe he's going to last long over here. I mean, the morale is already shattering really quickly. These Pontic swords are down to their last 20 men. My slingers over here are still fighting hand-to-hand combat. These archers over there are also spending. I think that's all that's left of my army. I send in my veteran hoplites and my general unit out here to fight this Oathsworn unit, which are now getting surrounded by these shield warriors who are charging into its rear, and that rear charge, I believe, should be the end of it. The general has died, and the rout is almost complete. Uh, just fantastic battle. It was really enjoyable. I really enjoyed the style we fought in. And I learned a lot myself personally. I learned when to pull back. I learned how to organize yourself. You need to, get used to your people you play with, and this was definitely one of those games. So let's see. It's fantastic battle. As always, Athens gets a really good KDA. Barely lost anything. He lost half of his forces. I lost almost all of my forces, but I got 2,800 kills, which was fantastic. Let's see. He still had most of his slingers completely intact. His cavalry was doing very well. Got a lot of sneaky kills in the end by killing the running away troops. He's bearing swords. He still had two units. One of them hadn't even fought yet. He had four units. Two units of very healthy veteran warriors and two units of injured veteran warriors. Lusitaniani swordmen over here were a little bit damaged. Crack shields doing just amazingly well across the board. He didn't even get to use his pikeman unit, which is just fantastic from that. And myself, I mean, you saw my kills across the game. I could have done a bit better with my Cretan archers, but overall I'm very, very happy, especially with how well this unit of Hoplites did and the start. This one was just base for their ammunition. Daku Gaming TV, I'm imagining that he has a YouTube channel as well, so we'll check it out, or maybe even Twitch channel. If you look him up, he did well. I mean, he did He could have gotten a lot more kills as his units were ripped to shreds by missile fire, and he seemed to engage at random times. Gandalf was the one I was facing. I completely melted these three units right off the bat, and then followed. He kept sacrificing his units. He had good ideas, but I think he executed them a bit poorly or a bit too slow. And Marshal of the USSR, just I mean, he got a lot of kills, 1,900, which is the highest in their team, but he also just kept sacrificing one unit at a time. I think that was their weakest point. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Multiplayer battles with Linksy. If you like the content, please subscribe, leave a comment, like the video because all those things help. We're trying to get our channel to 200 subscribers, which is not since it's 2 months ago. We were barely even we were struggling to get to 50. Less than 2 months ago, actually. Like we got 50 subs in the past week, which is just amazing. Um, I hope you guys are doing well. And yeah, if you have your games, you have interesting games, you have amazing games, you have funny games, just send them to me, Totalwarbro, and I'll try to cover them in my videos. I stream every day for the foreseeable future. I hope you guys are doing well. And yeah, see you tomorrow, guys. Bye bye.